Good evening. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Hamilton Southeastern basketball on Audio Sports Online tonight. The Royals welcome the Noblesville Millers in a crucial Hoosier Crossroads Conference matchup. My name is Brian Scott. Thanks for joining me once again. For Royals basketball on ASO is Hamilton Southeastern. One game this week. That will be tonight. They will be off tomorrow night. And before we get set for varsity action, well, we've got some JV action for you here tonight as the Royals welcome the Millers. Corey Taylor is the head coach of the Noblesville Millers JV squad, and his lineup will consist of 3 guards, a forward, and a center. Starting at a guard is a 5'10 junior, Trevor Conwell. And another guard, a 5'10 sophomore, Jordan Schmidt. The third guard is a 5'10 freshman, Colin Cates. At forward, a 6'3 sophomore, Xavier Hines. And at center, 6'5 sophomore, Alex Hancock. So the backcourt is Conwell, Schmidt, and Cates. And the front court, Hines and Hancock. That is the starting lineup for the Noblesville Millers. For head coach Dave Marica's JV Royals, they will have Josh Fugate starting at a guard, a 5'11 junior. The other guard will be a 6' sophomore, Matt Harris. The third guard, a 5'11 freshman, Cole Hornbuckle. At forward, a 6'4 freshman, Chris Scrubs. And at center, a 7'1 freshman, Mabor Majak. So once again, the backcourt for your Royals will be Fugate, Harris, and Hornbuckle. And the front court, Grubbs and Majak. And that is the starting lineup tonight here at Hamilton Southeastern High School. What a difference just 6 days make. When we came here last week for the Mount Vernon game, it was sunshine and 68, almost 70 degrees. Tonight, snow flurries and 28 degrees. But we should have some great action for you here at Hamilton Southeastern High School as we get ready to get this game underway. Mabor Majak will jump center for the Royals against Alex Hancock. Your Royals in the home whites with the blue numerals and blue trim. The Noblesville Millers in the black jerseys, gold numerals with white trim. As we get ready for some basketball, pull up a chair. Glad you joined us tonight on Audio Sports Online. Coach Dave Marica's JV team had a little bit of a struggle the past few games, primarily on the offense side. Last Saturday against Mount Vernon, a game they led until the final 2 seconds when Mount Vernon got off the shot to win the basketball game. And tonight they welcome the Millers as we are underway from Hamilton Southeastern High School. And the Millers immediately go to a 2-3 zone as the Royals move the ball around. This is Josh Fugate as they are trying to set up Grubbs at the free throw line. Harris with the basketball. They're trying to set up Mabor Majak on the low blocks. He's getting bodied up by Alex Hancock. And Southeastern will continue to move the basketball around. They do get it into Majak. He finds Grubbs flashing through the right side of the lane. Shot no good. Tip no good. Majak with a rebound. The putback and the bucket and the foul. Mabor Majak with the bucket, and he'll earn a trip to the free throw line for the and one. Jordan Schmidt will be hit with his first personal, and it's the first team foul. And Mabor Majak has the first points. And the free throw a little strong off the iron, and the Millers will have their first possession here of the ball game, trailing 2-0 as Hamilton Southeastern with a man-to-man. They get it low to Hancock. He's blocked by Majak. Hornbuckle strips it. Grubbs couldn't get the loose ball, and coming away with it is Trevor Conwell, and he will send it over to the left side. This is Colin Cates with the basketball. Right side back to Conwell, guarded by Cole Hornbuckle. 2-0 in favor of Southeastern, just underway in the first quarter. Hancock, who had his shot blocked by Majak, and now here's a steal by Grubbs. Grubbs in the front court, spins and throws it away. I think he was trying to get it to Majak, but instead throws it away. Conwell takes it, lays it up, and lays it in. Trevor Conwell has the first points for Noblesville as they tie the game at 2. 5:23 left to go, opening quarter. Again, tied at 2. I'm Brian Scott. Thanks for joining me once again as the Millers will stay in that 2-3 zone. Fugate with the basketball. He'll pull the trigger on a 3 and miss everything. And Majak got a hand out, but simply knocked it out of bounds, and the ball will belong to the Millers. As Xavier Hines will trigger the inbounds to one Trevor Conwell. And Conwell will run the point. He'll send it left side to Jordan Schmidt, and they'll swing it around down into the corner. Pull-up jumper blocked by Grubbs, tapped it away, into the hands of Hancock. And Hancock, Johnny on the spot, is able to pick up the loose ball and get the bucket and give the Millers their first lead of the contest at 4-2. But here comes Chris Grubbs, takes it back the other way, and Chris in the scoring column and ties the game at 4. We've played a minute and a half here at Hamilton Southeastern High School. Tied at 4. As Cates with the basketball hands it off now to Xavier Hines, back left side to Colin Cates. Picked up by Josh Fugate as Southeastern stays in that man-to-man. They will send it down into the corner to Conwell. Now here's a three. That three off the back iron, no good. Majak with a rebound off of the Xavier Hines miss. He'll get it to Hornbuckle. Cole at the left wing takes it in the lane, and a reach-in foul is going to be called against Noblesville. And Xavier Hines will be called for his first and the second team foul. Actually, they're saying that it's Hines' second, so they didn't credit the foul to Schmidt. They credit it to Hines, so he's got 2. But here's Chris Grubbs. Nice little duck in, and Chris Grubbs has his second bucket, and Southeastern takes the 2-point lead at 6-4 with 3:46 left to go in the first quarter of play, with Trevor Conwell giving it to Jordan Schmidt. Schmidt, right side. This is Hines once again. And they'll swing it back up top to Conwell between the circles, picked up closely by Cole Hornbuckle. And Southeastern with the 2-point lead with 3:29 left to go in the quarter. Conwell dumps it off. They'll send it back out top, driving, and then a nice dish and a nice find as Xavier Hines finds Alex Hancock. Hancock now will have almost a turnover as coming in to try to steal the pass with Xavier Hines, but he stepped on the baseline, or the sideline, right in front of the scorer's table. So Southeastern will keep possession. We're tied at 6. And the Royals have the basketball. No substitutions yet for either team as Matt Harris. A bit of a ball fake. Trap comes, but he gets it to Fugate over to Grubbs. Grubbs finds Majak on a little dump in, and Mabor won't get the bucket, but he's going to earn another trip to the free throw line on the third team foul now committed by the Noblesville Millers. They've now corrected it. That is Hines' second, and Schmidt was hit with the first personal. Meanwhile, Babor Majak has 2 free throws. That one he leaves short. Dalen Hooks now in. He'll take over for Cole Hornbuckle. And Mabor, whose first free throw was long, second is short. We'll see if he can dial it in here. He does. Mabor with 3 points. It's a 1-point lead for Southeastern, 7-6. And we do have 3 minutes left to go. Royals in that 2-2-1 press as the Millers do get it into the front court. They look to trap in the corner. Now here's a steal. Matt Harris with the basketball and the layup in transition. Matt Harris gets the steal, gets the bucket, and the lead is now 3. And they will stay in the 2-2-1. They'll skip it over to the top. They'll find Hines coming down the right side of the lane. Conwell gets the rebound. He sends it out. 3-ball no good. Flashing down the lane was Colin Cates to try to get the Jordan Schmidt miss, but the ball goes off of Cates, and it will belong to Hamilton Southeastern, up by 3 with 2:28 left to go in this first quarter. This is Josh Fugate around to DeLend Hooks' screen. Gives it back to Hooks, right side to Matt Harris. Trying to set up Majak in the low blocks, and he's getting bodied up by Alex Hancock. Right side to Harris, around the screen to Fugate. Fugate finds Chris Grubbs. Grubbs tries to go up for the shot, and he's going to be hacked on the way up. And it will be the 4th team foul called against Noblesville already. And the personal foul will be called Xavier Hines called for his third personal. And 2 shots for Chris Grubbs. Chris hits the first, and Hines is going to have to sit, and into the ball game will be Egan Keever Hill. So Xavier Hines out of the lineup due to 3 personals. Meanwhile, Chris Grubbs will sink both free throws. He has 6 points, and the lead is 5 for Southeastern. With 2:02 left to go first quarter, and here's that 2-2-1 press once again. Miller's trying to move it around. Now they'll get it into the front court to Keever Hill. Now here's a nice steal. Delaned Hooks. He'll take it, go up, and he'll be picked his pocket from behind by Jordan Schmidt. Outlet to Hancock. Hancock sends it back up top to Jordan Schmidt, and now the Millers will reset the offense. Turnovers via steals on both sides. Neither team could come up with points. Well, the Millers still in this possession. They trail by 5 with 1:27 left to play in the first quarter. Left side, this is Trevor Conwell, picked up by Matt Harris. Royals have used the 2-2-1 press, and now we'll have the first Southeastern foul as they're going to get Matt Harris on a reach-in. Chris Kotlowski in from Abor Majak, and Hancock will depart. He'll be replaced by Ian Gibbons. 11-6 in favor of Hamilton Southeastern. Millers with the basketball with 1:17 left to go in this first quarter of play. Driving is Keever Hill, and they will send it back up top to Jordan Schmidt. Schmidt back to Keever Hill. Over to Schmidt once again, picked up by Deland Hooks. Trevor Conwell now with it. Nice little ball fake, sends it out. There's a 3 on the way from the corner. That shot no good by Keever Hill. Grubbs with a rebound. He gives it out to Fugate. Fugate can't finish off the nice outlet as the Royals were on the break. Nice play, nice feed. Just couldn't finish the shot. And with 40 seconds remaining, Southeastern's lead remains at 5. Conwell with the basketball. And he'll send it top to Keever Hill. Southeastern staying in that man-to-man defense. And now we're going to have a whistle and a foul. They're going to get Deland Hooks. Deland Hooks with his first second team foul, so away from the basketball. 22.3 seconds remain, a 5-point lead for Hamilton Southeastern. Nice find. Underneath, they find Jordan Schmidt, who stopped on a dime, and Deland Hooks ran into him. And he's going to be hit with his second personal, third team, and that's going to send Jordan Schmidt to the line for a pair. And that one rims out. This is the first trip to the line for the Millers tonight. As Colin Cates leaves. And Jerron Uri is in. Meanwhile, Schmidt with the second free throw. That one rattles down and drops. And the lead's 4 for Southeastern with 18 seconds remaining. Chris Grubbs into the front court, sends it left side. Fugate thought about the 3, stepped up, finds Kotlowski. Kotlowski's 3 from the corner is no good. Hooks skies for the rebound, loses it on his way up. Here's Matt Harris. Shot goes up high off the glass, and Harris, with the clock winding down, is able to put it in, and that's how we end the first quarter of play. Our score, after 7 minutes of basketball, Hamilton Southeastern leads Noblesville 13-7. Excuse me. This is Royals basketball on ASO. Back with second quarter. About ready to get underway. I'm Brian Scott, through with my near-death experience, choking up after the end of the first quarter with our score, Hamilton Southeastern leading Noblesville 13-7. 6 points for Chris Grubbs in that first quarter, 4 for Matt Harris. He hit that shot as the clock was winding down off of a couple of misses. And Mabor-Majak has 3. Alex Hancock, 4 points, leads the Millers. As the Millers will have the basketball, and they will have Trevor Conwell, Jerron Yori, Ian Gibbons. This is Jordan Schmidt. And Egan Keever Hill, as that ball's knocked away by Mabor-Majak, but coming back to steal the basketball was Jerron Yori. And Egan Keever Hill cleans it up for the bucket. And it's a 4-point Southeastern lead after the make. And here's Southeastern with their first possession of the second quarter. They'll kick it out. Matt Harris's 3 from the corner. It is deadly as he hits it. He now has 7, and the lead is also 7 at 16-9 as we are just underway here in the second quarter from Hamilton Southeastern High School. Junior varsity action, Royals and the Noblesville Millers. Hoosier Crossroads Conference basketball. Spin in the lane, and there's Mabor-Majak sending Trevor Conwell's shot over to the cheerleaders. As Majak has been much more active as a shot blocker these past few games for Coach Dave Merica's Royals. Here's the Yuri. He had to save it and threw it right into the hands of Bradley Beeman. DeLind Hooks sent it over to Matt Harris, who gave it to Mabor-Majak, and Majak has 5 points. As the lead is now 9 with 5:47 left to go in the first half of play. As I was mentioning, Majak becoming much more of a shot blocker these past few games, as he has been averaging 3 or 4 blocks each and every game over the past 3 or 4 games, and got one there. Here's Matt Harris with good hands. Royals showing some good hands, some good active hands, getting their hands up in the passing lanes, and the ball will still remain in the hands of the Millers, but Southeastern leads by 9 with 5:29 left to go in the first half. This is Keever Hill, bounce pass to Yori. Yori gets it to Gibbons. Gibbons trying to work against Majak and does actually a nice job getting around Mabor and getting the bucket. First bucket for Ian Gibbons, and it's 18-11. DeLind Hooks in the lane. He finds Harris out to Kotlowski, back to Hooks. Played just about 2 minutes in this second quarter. Southeastern leads 18-11. They led by 6 at the end of the first quarter. Here's Matt Harris for 3, a little strong. DeLind Hooks, nice job coming down the right side of the lane with the putback, and it's back to a 9-point advantage for Hamilton Southeastern. Yori, left side to Conwell. As substitutions about ready to come in for Coach Dave Merica at the next dead ball. Keever Hill will find Yori back right side. This is Jordan Schmidt. Schmidt drives, tries to send it to the corner to Yori, and Majak run out. They instead get it down low to Keever Hill. He forces the issue and throws up a prayer. Here's Bradley Beeman. Bradley sends it out to Hooks. Hooks will put up a one-legged 3, but he will get the bucket, and that's going to cause head coach Corey Taylor to call a timeout with 4:14 left to go in this first half. Coach Corey Taylor calls a full timeout, and the lead is double figures for Hamilton Southeastern. They lead by 12, 23-11, with 4:14 left to go in the first half. I'm Brian Scott. Thanks for joining me for Hamilton Southeastern basketball on Audio Sports Online. Hoosier Crossroads Conference action tonight against the Noblesville Millers. Varsity game to follow. The Royals ranked 13th this week. They lost, of course, last Friday night in that gut-wrenching loss to Zionsville in overtime, but bounced back to defeat Mount Vernon the next night. And matter of fact, they only dropped about a point or two in the polls in the AP rankings. Meanwhile, Zionsville, after that big win against Southeastern, couldn't follow it up. They fell to Pike. And we'll talk all about the HCC coming up at halftime of the varsity game. In the meantime, with 4:14 left to go in this first half, Southeastern leads the Millers 23-11. On the floor, Mabor Majak, Delind Hooks, Brandon Miller now in, Bradley Beeman, and Cole Hornbuckle as Southeastern goes to a 2-2-1 press once again. We'll try to set up the Miller lineup as the Millers do get it into the front court across the timeline. As Trevor Conwell is joined by Juron Uri, Jordan Schmidt. There's Ian Gibbons setting a screen, and Egan Keever-Hill is the 5 on the court for Coach Corey Taylor. And give it to Conwell, swing it left side to Uri. They'll find Keever-Hill, left elbow, back to Uri. And swing it back around as Southeastern in the 2-3 zone. Here's Majak with another block, but it falls into the hands of the Millers. Keever-Hill couldn't get the putback, but coming away with the loose ball is Jordan Schmidt, and the Millers will reset the offense. Majak with another block. We're also seeing him do a few more runouts, especially on some of the perimeter shooting, making those shooters get those shots over those long arms of the 7'1" freshman. Left side, Uri, they get it to Gibbons. Gibbons with a good job getting it over Mabor Majak, who came back and established some nice position, but Gibbons lofted it high and got the bucket. But it is a 10-point lead for Southeastern as we approach 3 minutes left to go in the first half. Bradley Beeman with the basketball across the timeline. Double team comes, and he's going to be fouled, and it's going to be the 5th team foul called against Noblesville. And Jordan Schmidt will pick up his 2nd. Cole Hornbuckle will depart, and Josh Fugate now into the lineup for Dave Merica. Meanwhile, Jordan Schmidt will get a breather as Colin Cates returns. Dayland Hooks also will depart. And Chris Grubbs, who had 6 points in that first quarter, is in the lineup, and he will trigger the inbound right in front of us here. And they'll throw it to the backcourt where Bradley Beeman will get the basketball and walk it up into the front court. 2:47 left to go, first half, 23-13. Grubbs lobs it into Majak. Majak goes back to the free throw line and finds Fugate. Fugate over to Beeman. And now almost stolen away is a good hustle play there by Colin Cates as they were trying to get into the corner to Josh Fugate. Ball will remain in the hands of Southeastern as Fugate this time will inbound and Beeman will take it in the front court. 23-13, that's our score. 2:30 remaining in this first half. Nice bounce pass. Chris Grubbs can't finish it off on a nice find by Josh Fugate. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul. And it's going to be called against Hamilton Southeastern. That'll be their 4th. And it'll be Brandon Miller that is hit with his first personal foul. Millers do get it into the front court, and the Royals will set up the 2-3 zone. With 2:09 left to play, here's Egan Keever-Hill. Gets around Chris Grubbs, but Grubbs quick to get back on and get in front of him, so they'll send it back out to the perimeter. Conwell, as they try to bounce it low. Here's Chris Grubbs off the steal from Luke Shannon's pass. Fugate finds Majak, ball fake, drives in the lane, puts it up, lays it off the glass. A nice move by the freshman. Gave a little ball fake, drove the left side of the lane, and then just laid it off the glass, and the lead is 12 at 1:38 left to go in the first half. Mabor Majak with 7 points. As Shannon goes right side to Keever-Hill. They find Shannon, and now they'll swing it back around into the hands of Colin Cates, back to Trevor Conwell. Minute 17, here's Keever-Hill, drives baseline, works against Grubbs. Grubbs with the block, however, Chris also got the body, and Chris will probably be called for his first personal. It will be the 5th team foul against Hamilton Southeastern. And Chris will be hit with his first personal, and Egan Keever-Hill. And he has 2 points, his first trip to the free throw line. That one hits the flange and comes out. Into the lineup for Hamilton Southeastern, Nate Schakowsky. And Matt Harris will return as Brandon Miller and Bradley Beeman depart. Keever Hill with one more free throw. He sinks that, splits the free throws. He has 3 points. The lead's 11, for Hamilton Southeastern, 25-14. 65 seconds remain in this first half. And Southeastern is pretty much led throughout. But as I mentioned, they led. Here's a nice turnaround jumper from the free throw line from Chris Grubbs. Chris's first points here in the second quarter. He has 8, and it's a 27-14 lead. As I mentioned, the JV Royals led throughout their game with Mount Vernon last week, only to have here's a steal by Grubbs, and he will take it and flush it down. 10 points for Chris Grubbs. And the lead is now up to 15. Mount Vernon managed to get a bucket with 2 seconds remaining. Their only lead of the game. It proved to be the game winner. Keever Hill will drive baseline, send it out to the corner. 3 by Conwell is on the way, rattles out, and comes down. Here's Harris to Fugate on the fast break. Fugate with a nice little ball fake, and Josh Fugate gets the bucket. Majak with a rebound. He found Harris. Harris found Fugate, and leads to a bucket in transition as Trevor Conwell's shot as time is expiring from about 26 feet is no good, and that's the end of the first half. Our score after 14 minutes of basketball. Hamilton Southeastern leads Noblesville 31-14. Check back here in about 10 minutes. Well, let's call it 8. How about that? Check back in 8 minutes. We'll have some stats from the first half as we get ready for varsity basketball following our JV game. This is Hamilton Southeastern basketball on Audio Sports Online. I'm Brian Scott. Welcome back to Hamilton Southeastern High School as it is Special Olympics night here at Hamilton Southeastern High School. A great scrimmage held here at halftime of the JV game. And a fun time had by all. Kids got to come through the tunnel of cheerleaders. Got some good hands here from the crowd that is assembled as it continues to grow as we get ready for varsity action coming up after the conclusion of the JV game, which currently Hamilton Southeastern leads by the score of 31-14. Southeastern led 13-7 after the end of the first quarter, and then they outscored Noblesville 18-7 in that second quarter. Currently leading all scores is Chris Grubbs with 10 points, Mabor Majak with 7, and Matt Harris also with 7 points. 5 points for Daylind Hooks and 2 points for Josh Fugate. Bradley Beeman, Chris Kotlowski, Cole Hornbuckle, Brandon Miller, and Nate Shikowski all played. They did not score. For the Noblesville Millers, 2 players with 4 points apiece. Alex Hancock and Ian Gibbons, 3 points for Egan Keever-Hill. 2 for Trevor Conwell, 1 for Jordan Schmidt. Colin Cates, Luke Shannon, and Xavier Hines, they all played. They did not score. Hines, actually, he committed 3 personal fouls within just the first few minutes of the first quarter and was forced to sit for the remainder of the half for head coach Corey Taylor. Southeastern currently 3 of 5 from the free throw line. All their free throw attempts came in the first quarter, while Noblesville is 2 of 4. Noblesville yet to have hit from beyond the arc, and Hamilton Southeastern has hit a pair from downtown. So that's what we've got here in the junior varsity contest. Varsity game to follow as the 13th ranked Hamilton Southeastern Royals taking on fellow Hoosier Crossroads Conference member and rival Noblesville. Big game here. We've got a lot of people expected to be here tonight, and we hope you'll join us here for Royals basketball on Audio Sports Online. I guess our next game will be on Thursday as Hamilton Southeastern will travel down to Columbus to take on Columbus North. We'll have that ball game for you. We will endeavor our best to bring you video at that venue. However, it's going to be my first time there as well, so we'll see if they've got internet access for us. If not, we'll have audio. Meanwhile, we want to remind you that next Saturday, Hamilton Southeastern will make up their postponed game with Westfield. That was originally part of a boys-girls doubleheader. The girls have already played their makeup with Coach Chris Huppenthal's team coming out victorious. So next Saturday, Hamilton Southeastern will play Westfield. The varsity will tip off at 12:30. The JV will play that game that morning. We will have that game for you. The JV will play Heritage Christian. Tip-off for that game scheduled for 11 o'clock, and again, the varsity scheduled for about 12:30. To begin the second half, it will be Trevor Conwell, Jordan Schmidt, Colin Cates, Xavier Hines, and Alex Hancock. The same starting 5 for Coach Corey Taylor. And for Hamilton Southeastern, the same starting five, Coach Dave Marica. It'll be Josh Fugate, Matt Harris, Cole Hornbuckle, Chris Grubbs, and Mabor Majak. Southeastern leads 31-14, and we're ready to get this second half underway as Josh Fugate has the basketball, and again, Southeastern up by 17. Here's Matt Harris. He'll drive baseline. He'll try to feed it to Majak, but it's poked away by, it's actually Egan Keever-Hill that's in for Xavier Hines. So Keever-Hill will start the second half in place of, no, Xavier Hines is out there. He's the man with the basketball. He's the one getting blocked by Mabor Majak. We'll set the lineup in a minute. Here's a pull-up jumper. It is up and good by Jordan Schmidt. So it is Trevor Conwell, Jordan Schmidt, Egan Keever-Hill. Here is Fugate. He sends it out. 3-ball on the way. That one's off the flange, no good, and Hines comes away with it. Once again, they have Colin Cates out there, Trevor Conwell, Jordan Schmidt, Egan Keever-Hill. It is Alex Hancock that is not out there to begin the second half. Instead, Egan Keever-Hill will get the basketball, but a turnover will give the ball to Hamilton Southeastern. So now that we have some idea what we're talking about here with the lineups all set, Southeastern has the basketball up 31-16. Chris Grubbs, again, he had 10 points in that first half to Matt Harris. Driving in the lane, Fugate, and he's going to have himself wrapped up as he made a move to the hoop. And I believe it's going to be Trevor Conwell. So the first foul is against Trevor Conwell, and Josh Fugate at the line to shoot a pair. And he hits the first. Josh had 2 points in that first half, and he has the first points for Southeastern here in the second half on a free throw. Second free throw up, and he cans them both. He now has 4 points. And it is back to a 17-point lead for Hamilton Southeastern as once again the 2-2-1 press being employed. Noblesville gets it into the front court. They will send it to Hines. Good run out by Majak. They'll send it around. Good hands by Fugate. Ball still loose. Hornbuckle's able to get it. And a timeout's called as Chris Grubbs. He had what looked like an easy basket as he had gotten the basketball, but Coach Dave Marica had already called a timeout. This is a 30-second timeout. With 5:24 left to go, third quarter, Hamilton Southeastern leading 33-16. I'm Brian Scott. JV action, varsity to follow. Tip-off scheduled for right around 7:30. And right now we look like we'll probably be right around there. No substitutions out of the timeouts. As Chris Grubbs is going to inbound the basketball. Nope, they'll have Matt Harris inbound it. And he will give it to Chris Grubbs in the backcourt, and Chris is going to walk it across the timeline. Royals up by 17. Grubbs with the basketball to Fugate. They switch off with Egan Keever-Hill. Keever-Hill pokes it away from behind, and he will have this ball go out of bounds as Keever-Hill unable to chase it down before it goes out of bounds, and Fugate will inbounds to Chris Grubbs. Grubbs makes a move, leaves it to Fugate. Fugate he was going to try to wrap it around Xavier Hines to Mabor Majak, but it goes off of Hines' leg, and Fugate will now trigger the inbounds from the baseline. Bounce pass to Grubbs. A couple of double team comes. Shot is short, and Keever-Hill comes away with a rebound for the Millers. And he will give it to Xavier Hines. Trevor Conwell ball fake as they again move the basketball around to Keever-Hill. He works on Mabor Majak. Majak way out. And Hines will send it right side to Cates. Back to Conwell. Back up top to Keever-Hill. 4:30 left to go, third quarter. Southeastern leads by 17 at 33-16 as the Millers probe the perimeter. Conwell, ball fake, drives in the lane, and it's knocked away, but a whistle and a foul is going to go against the Royals. It'll be their first team foul of the second half. And the blocking foul is called against Josh Fugate, his first. As Matt Harris will depart, Dayland Hooks back into the lineup. Dayland didn't start this game, but he had 5 points in the second quarter. As that ball knocked out of bounds as they tried to feed Xavier Hines underneath, poked away by Mambora Majak, but it will stay with the Millers as Conwell set to trigger the inbounds from the baseline. Conwell searching, finds Hines. And now they'll find Kiever Hill with 4:18 left to go in the third quarter. Still a 17-point lead for Southeastern. Very little offense here to begin this third quarter, and the Millers being very, very patient. Conwell, right side, Kiever Hill. Here is Cates for a three from the top of the key, and Colin Cates has his first points. It's a three from the top of the key. That makes it 33-19 as we dip under 4 minutes left to go third quarter. Fugate, he's working on Schmidt, and will get it into the front court. Fugate, top of the key, now traveled. I think he saw a brief opening and wasn't sure if he wanted to shoot that basketball or send it off to the wing where Hooks was. He decided to send it to Hooks, but not before he drug a pivot foot, and the turnover gives the ball back to the Millers. They trail, though, 33-19, 3:45 left to go first quarter, and now a whistle and another foul is going to be called against Hamilton Southeastern. This one's going to go against Cole Hornbuckle, his first, team second. And it will be Cates triggering the inbounds from right in front of the Noblesville bench. Looks, and we'll find Conwell with 3:41 left to play in the quarter. 33-19, that's the score. The Royals with the lead, Millers with the basketball. Kiever Hill trying to work on Majak, now gets in the paint and has to send it out to Hines. Hines right side to Schmidt. Back to Hines. Hines works around Chris Grubbs. Poked away by Fugate, ball still loose, and Chris Grubbs is going to knock it out of bounds as Josh Fugate, with a little help defense, managed to poke the ball out of Xavier Hines' hands, but it will belong to the Millers with 3:22 left to go third quarter. 33-19, that's the score, and they'll get it to Hines, who's been staring at the big fella, Mabor Majak. Again, Majak, several blocks already. Here's a nice move. Hines gets around Majak, uses the basket as a shield on the reverse layup, but can't get the bucket. Here's Fugate. He finds Majak. Majak drives, goes in, loses the basketball, and they'll say it went off of Majak. Might have been looking for a foul against Kiever Hill, but they won't get the call. Meanwhile, Fugate and Cole Hornbuckle will depart, and Bradley Beeman will come in, as well as Cam Harris getting his first action in this JV game. 33-19 remains our score, 2:55 here in the third quarter, and as they get the entry pass down to Jordan Schmidt from Colin Cates, Bradley Beeman is going to be hit with a personal foul, the third team foul against Southeastern, and Jordan Schmidt is at the line. He has 3 points, and he's 1 of 2 from the line. He's got 2 more coming. That one hits front, hits back, and then finally rolls in for Schmidt. And he'll have 1 more free throw. Second free throw is up, rattles, rolls, and drops. He gets both free throws, and what was at one point a 17-point lead has been cut to 12. And meanwhile, Hooks finds Majak out to Grubbs. And Grubbs will back it out and give it to Bradley Beeman with 2:38 left to go in the third quarter, and Hamilton Southeastern leading 33-21. Grubbs tried to go around his back. Ball's loose, still on the court, and Noblesville, is going to come away with it on a 50-50 ball by Xavier Hines. He comes away with it, and the Millers have the basketball. They trail by 12. They can cut it to 10 with a bucket here or make it a single-digit deficit with a 3. Out to Hines, left side. Kiever Hill drives baseline, sends it out. Here is a 3, and it's halfway down, comes back out by Schmidt. Hooks with the rebound, but loses the basketball. There is Grubbs with the loose ball. Ball still loose, and when all is said and done, The Millers will have the basketball as both teams scrapping for the 50-50 balls. But the Millers have it as Conwell will trigger the inbound from the baseline. 33-21, a minute 57 left to go in this third quarter. This is Keever Hill, right side to Xavier Hines. They will send it out. Here's a three from the wing. No good by Colin Cates. Majak with a rebound to DeLand Hooks. Hooks drives in the lane, lays it up off the glass, and DeLand Hooks gets the bucket. He has 7. And it's a 35-21 game with a minute 35. Here's that 2-2-1 press once again for Southeastern. Millers get it over to the right side to Conwell, to Keever Hill, right elbow. Not sure what Keever Hill, he's looking to give it to somebody. Finds Hines. Hines has a good matchup there with Beeman. Beeman able to get a hand in, and now he's going to get called for the foul. Hines, the bigger and you can tell a little bit stronger. Beeman, the quicker, but he got those hands in. He's going to be called for the reach in. It's his second, fourth team foul, and Conwell will trigger the inbounds from the sideline and find Keever Hill. Picked up by Chris Grubbs with a minute 15 left to go third quarter, 35-21. Royals with the lead, Millers with the basketball. Keever Hill hands it up to Jordan Schmidt. Schmidt sends it out. This is Cates. Gives it back to Schmidt. His 8-footer from the baseline's no good, and Majak has the rebound. This is Bradley Beeman around a Majak screen. Sends it to Cam Harris with 51 seconds. As the Royals have the basketball, leading by 14. Here's Chris Grubbs at the free throw line. He's going to get bodied up. It'll be only the second team foul against the Millers here in this half. And it'll be called against Jordan Schmidt. That's his third. Schmidt will leave with that third personal. Alex Hancock comes in. He'll replace Egan Keever Hill, and Jaron Uri will replace Schmidt. 41 and a half seconds. Here's Chris Grubbs, gets around Hancock and makes a nice move and gets the bucket. He has 12. 37-21, 33 seconds remain. Back to the 2-2-1. Millers do get it into the front court. Right side to Conwell. This is Hines between the circles, left side. All alone for the three is Colin Cates, and he buries it from the left wing. He's got 2 field goals, both of them from long range. 37-24 is the score with 12 seconds remaining. Chris Grubbs with the basketball, looking to go one-on-one, gets around Hancock, drives, lays it up off the glass. And Chris Grubbs gets the bucket. 1 second, and Trevor Conwell wasn't quite paying attention to the clock. He's forced to throw up a three-quarter court shot, and it's well short, and that's the end of quarter number 3. Hamilton Southeastern will head to the fourth quarter with the lead of 39-24. Stay tuned. Fourth quarter action coming up. This is Royals basketball on ASO. As we get ready to start the fourth quarter, Hamilton Southeastern leads Noblesville 39-24 in this junior varsity contest. I'm Brian Scott. Thanks for joining me for Royals basketball tonight. To begin the fourth and final quarter, it'll be Chris Grubbs, Matt Harris, Josh Fugate, Nate Shikowski, and Mabor Majak on the court for Coach Dave Merica. And for Coach Corey Taylor, he will have Colin Cates. This is Jordan Schmidt with the basketball. Egan Keever Hill. Alex Hancock. and Jordan Uri. Those are the 5 for the Millers. Here is Uri, left side to Schmidt, back to Uri. Royals in a 2-3 zone. They get down low. They find Hancock on the baseline, but he can't finish the shot. And, unable to get a hold of the basketball was Nate Shikowski. And as he grabbed put a hand on it, it was on the baseline, so it'll be still Noblesville ball. Hancock departs, and Luke Shannon in for the Millers as they have the basketball, trailing 39-24. Here's a 3 off the inbounds from the corner. It's no good. Royals get it to Harris, who can't quite hold on to the ball. Ball's still loose, and finally we're going to have a timeout called as Shikowski was able to get a couple of hands on that basketball, and Dave Merica calls the timeout, and he will call his second 30-second timeout with 6:20 left to go, with the Royals leading 39-24. Again, varsity action to follow here from Hamilton Southeastern High School as the 13th ranked Royals taking on the Noblesville Millers. Still some possibilities as far as Hoosier Crossroads Conference title implications are coming up. Royals still have a game with Brownsburg coming up at the end of the season, and both Brownsburg and Zionsville currently are undefeated in conference play, and both Zionsville and Brownsburg have yet to play each other. Here's Fugate, gets around his man, sends it out to Grubbs, pops the 3, and nails it. Grubbs now has 17 points, and it's a 42-24 lead as we've played 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. This is Schmidt with the basketball. Majak got a hand in there as Egan Keever-Hill got the basketball, and Mabor will be hit with his first personal, but it is the 5th team foul against Hamilton Southeastern. We've seen Majak playing Keever-Hill well out beyond the three-point line at times, and here's Keever-Hill with Majak right on him. Sends it back to Schmidt, right side to Uri. 5:47 left to go, fourth quarter, 42-24. Southeastern with the lead. Millers with the basketball as Shannon gives it to Uri. Picked up by Matt Harris, back to Keever-Hill. Top of the key, this is Schmidt, drives, and they'll count the basket as getting the bucket is Jordan Schmidt, and he's going to have a chance for the and one, as I believe they're going to get Josh Fugate. Fugate will be called for the foul. Coach Dave Merica thinks the foul should have been on the floor as Majak departs, and into the lineup for Coach Dave Merica is Brandon Miller, while Schmidt is able to complete the three-point play. He now has 8 points. It's a 42-27 in favor of Hamilton Southeastern. Matt Harris gets it across the timeline into the hands of Chris Grubbs. To Fugate, left side to Miller. Miller finds Matt Harris all alone, top of the key, pops the 3 a little long. Ball's loose and finally chased down by Jordan Schmidt for the Millers. Long outlet pass to Uri. Uri kicks it back out and gets the ball back from Cates as they swing it around to the other side of the court, moving the basketball around. Southeastern in the man-to-man with under 5 minutes left to go. Uri drops it off. This is Keever-Hill. Left side, baseline drive, and just able to get it out. Here's Keever-Hill. His 3, no good. And Miller, trying for the rebound, finally does corral it. He'll find Fugate, and Colin Cates, trying to intercept the pass, knocks it out of bounds. Cole Hornbuckle in as he will take over for Matt Harris as the Royals will have the basketball. They lead 42-27 with 4:38 left to go in the basketball game as Jordan Schmidt will depart and Ian Gibbons will come in his stead. This is Chris Grubbs with the basketball. Gets around Miller's screen, but they send it out to Shikowski. Shikowski finds Grubbs, baseline, puts it up, puts it in. Good job by Shikowski to get it back to Grubbs, who realized that he had the opportunity there, and Grubbs converts. He has 19 points. They get it down low, and as Shannon gets the basketball, he's hacked by Chris, as Grubbs will be hit with his second, but it is the 7th team foul. Now they'll say it's the 6th. I have it down for 7th as well. And now they do correct that. It is the 7th team foul. So now the 1-and-1 is in effect, and Luke Shannon, who is scoreless in this contest, is at the line with the 1-and-1. It is the 7th team foul, so for the remainder of this contest, which has 4 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, the Millers will be shooting free throws on the common fouls. Shannon's first free throw is good, and he will get the bonus as Luke Shannon is now in the scorer's column. And they'll have one more free throw coming. Southeastern currently up by 16. Shannon's free throw will make it a 15-point deficit for the Millers. 44-29, 4:05 remaining. Fugate into the front court, right side. This is Brandon Miller. Miller back to Fugate. Josh drives, finds Chris Grubbs. Grubbs steps back, fadeaway jumper, rims out. Shikowski could not hold on to the loose ball rebound, and here comes the Millers the other way. They'll swing it around right side. This is Gibbons with the basketball. He'll give it to Jerron Uri. Uri to Keever Hill. Back to Uri. Uri looked like he thought about a three, but now they'll send it back and reset the offense. Bounce pass down low. Shannon got loose from the defender, and Luke Shannon now has 4 points. And it's down to a 13-point Southeastern lead with 3:11 left to go. Grubbs to Hornbuckle to Fugate. Long-range three, a little strong. Ball comes down in the hands of Grubbs. Grubbs gives it off, and getting the bucket and drawing the foul is Cole Hornbuckle. As Hornbuckle picks up his first points of the game. And Luke Shannon will pick up his first personal foul as Hornbuckle will be at the line to convert the three-point play. Grubbs and Shikowski will depart. Bradley Beeman and Chris Ketlowski now in as Hornbuckle has that one go halfway down and come back out. He's unable to convert the three-point play, but Southeastern leads 46-31. Keever Hill throws it away as he was trying to get the ball over to Colin Cates. Cates finally chases it down, but he does so in the backcourt, and it's an over and back violation. The turnover will give the ball to Southeastern, who leads by 15 with 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Dayland Hooks now into the lineup. So it is Bradley Beeman, Brandon Miller, Dayland Hooks, Chris Ketlowski, and Cole Hornbuckle on the court for Coach Dave Merica with a 15-point lead for the Royals. 2:38 remains. Hooks with the basketball. Hooks with 7 points. As Miller, left side to Bradley Beeman. Beeman scoreless. As Miller has it, he finds Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle, a little ball fake, drives, and he's going to earn another trip to the free throw line as he's going to be hacked. It'll be the 4th team foul against Noblesville. And Ian Gibbons will be hit with his first personal. So Cole Hornbuckle at the line, this time to shoot a pair. That one is good. Substitution now for the Millers as Jordan Schmidt and Alex Hancock come in, and departing will be Ian Gibbons and Egan Keever Hill. 47-31, and Hornbuckle with one more free throw due. It's front iron, no good. Hancock with a rebound. He'll give it to Jerron Uri. 47-31, 2:15 left to go. Right side to Uri. They're looking for Hancock down low. Uri hands it off to Schmidt. Right side. Here's Shannon, drives, and the basket will not count. Foul occurred on the floor, but free throw's still coming. as the 1-1 is in effect. Chris Kotlowski with his first, and Luke Shannon will be at the line with a 1-1. Shannon with 4 points. He is 2 of 2 from the line, and all of his scoring here in the fourth quarter. He hits that, he will get the bonus. 2 minutes, 3 seconds remain. Southeastern leads by 15 at 47-32. And the second free throw climbs over the front of the rim, and it's now 47-33. Under 2 left to play. Bradley Beeman into the front court. He gives it to Brandon Miller, and Luke Shannon just momentum could not stop as Miller stopped right underneath the basket, and Shannon plowed into him. 15 foul, non-shooting foul, so the Royals will trigger the inbounds from the baseline, and it will be Miller to inbound the basketball. And he finds Kotlowski over to Bradley Beeman with 1:53. Nice find. Beeman finds Hook. Shot partially blocked. Kotlowski with the putback. He won't get it to drop. It kind of hung on the rim for a bit, but Jaron Uri with his first 16 foul, and they will say it was not in the act of shooting, so Miller will once again impound the basketball. And he will lob it up to Bradley Beeman, who will have it in the backcourt and bring it up front with 1:45 left to play. Royals lead 47-33. Here is a tap out by Uri, but Beeman's able to corral the ball. He will give it to Kotlowski, back to Bradley Beeman. Cam Harris also into the basketball game. He'll give it to Miller. 3 ball on the way, and that ball halfway down came out on Brandon. And it remains 47-33. Uri right side over to Schmidt as they'll swing it around to find Shannon. Southeastern leads by 14. They'll send it out. Shannon's 3 is on the way. That one's short off the rim. And DeLind Hooks with a rebound for Hamilton Southeastern as we have 60 seconds left to play in this JV contest with Southeastern up by 14. Beeman leaves it to Cam Harris. Harris around, drives, and lays it up. No good. Miller with the putback, and Brandon Miller is in the scores column. He has the bucket. 49-33 is our score. Under 40 seconds left to play with the Millers with the basketball, and they now trail by 16. Right side, 3 on the way from the wing. That one halfway down comes back out for Colin Cates, and Beeman will get it into the front court and leave it to Chris Kotlowski. Kotlowski will back it up with 18 seconds. Cam Harris with the basketball to Beeman. Beeman drives in the lane, has his shot blocked. Uri with the basketball, outlets to Cates. Cates gets it into the front court. Uri for 3. That one's no good. Hooks with a rebound with 2 seconds, 1 second, and that's going to do it. Our final score in the junior varsity contest. Hamilton Southeastern defeats Noblesville 49-33. Give us a few minutes. We'll have final stats right after this. This is Royals basketball on ASO. Brian Scott back with you as the junior varsity contest has come to a close, and the Royals defeat Noblesville by the score of 49-33. Let's give you some final numbers for the visiting Noblesville Millers. They were led by 8 points from Jordan Schmidt, 6 points each from Colin Cates and Luke Shannon, 4 points each from Ian Gibbons and Alex Hancock, 3 points for Egan Keever Hill, 2 points for Trevor Conwell. Jerron Uri and Xavier Hines, they did not score. For the Hamilton Southeastern Royals, they were led by Chris Grubbs, who had 19 points, 7 points each from a trio of players, Matt Harris, Dylan Hooks, and Mabor Majak. 4 points from Josh Fugate, 3 points from Cole Hornbuckle, 2 points from Brandon Miller. Bradley Beeman, Chris Kotlowski, Cam Harris, and Nate Schakowsky played. They did not score. Southeastern led 13-7 after the end of the first quarter, 31-14 at the half, 39-24 at the end of 3, and they win this game by a score of 16, 49-33. Stay tuned. Coming up, varsity action as the 13th ranked Hamilton Southeastern Royals will take on the Noblesville Millers. That's all coming up. We will be back with a pregame show at approximately 7:20 and the tip-off between the Royals and the Millers at 7:30. You're watching Hamilton Southeastern basketball on Audio Sports Online.